The Hindu-Arabic numeral system. A Hindu numeral system, a positional decimal numeral system, is the most common system for the symbolic representation of numbers in the world. It was invented between the 1st and 4th centuries by Indian mathematicians. The system was adopted by Persian mathematicians and Arab mathematicians by the 9th century. It later spread to medieval Europe by the High Middle Ages. The system is based upon 10 different glyphs. The symbols used to represent the system are in principle independent of the system itself. The glyphs in actual use are descended from Brahmi numerals and have split into various typographical variants since the Middle Ages. These symbol sets can be divided into 3 main families: Arabic numerals used in the Greater Maghreb in Europe, Eastern Arabic numerals used in the Middle East, and the Indian numerals used in the Indian subcontinent. This numerical system is still used worldwide today. Etymology. The Hindu-Arabic numerals were invented by mathematicians in India. Perso-Arabic mathematicians called them Hindu numerals. Later they came to be called Arabic numerals in Europe, because they were introduced to the West by Arab merchants. Positional notation. The Hindu-Arabic system is designed for positional notation in a decimal system. In a more developed form, positional notation also uses a decimal marker, and also a symbol for these digits recur ad infinitum. In modern usage, this latter symbol is usually a vinculum. In this more developed form, the numeral system can symbolize any rational number using only 13 symbols, although generally found in text written with the Arabic abjad. Numbers written with these numerals also place the most significant digit to the left, so they read from left to right. The requisite changes in reading direction are found in text that mixes left to right writing systems with right to left systems. Symbols. Various symbol sets are used to represent numbers in the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, most of which developed from the Brahmi numerals. The symbols used to represent the system have split into various typographical variants since the Middle Ages, arranged in 3 main groups: the widespread Western Arabic numerals, used with the Latin, Cyrillic, and Greek alphabets in the table hereafter labeled European, descended from the West Arabic numerals, which were developed in Al-Andalus and the Maghreb. The Arabic Indic, or Eastern Arabic numerals, used with Arabic script, developed primarily in what is now Iraq. A variant of the Eastern Arabic numerals is used in Persian and Urdu. The Hindu numerals in use with scripts of the Brahmic family in India and Southeast Asia. Each of the roughly dozen major scripts of India has its own numeral glyphs. Glyph comparison. As in many numbering systems, the numbers chapter 1, 2, and 3 represent simple tally marks, 1 being a single line, 2 being 2 lines, and 3 being 3 lines. After 3, numbers tend to become more complex symbols. Theorists believe that this is because it becomes difficult to instantaneously count objects past 3. History. Despite being described as the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, the corpus incorporates elements from earlier Egyptian, Babylonian, Hellenistic, and Chinese works, in addition to a mathematical methodology developed by Indian mathematicians, and in use extensively throughout India, before being adopted by Perso-Arabic mathematicians in Baghdad. Predecessors. The Brahmi numerals at the basis of the system predate the Common Era. They replaced the earlier Kharosthi numerals used since the 4th century BC. Brahmi and Kharosthi numerals were used alongside one another in the Maurya Empire period, both appearing on the 3rd century BC edicts of Ashoka. Buddhist inscriptions from around 300 BC used the symbols that became 1, 4, and 6. 1 century later, the use of the symbols that became 2, 4, 6, 7 and 9 was recorded. These Brahmi numerals are the ancestors of the Hindu Arabic glyphs 1 to 9, but they were not used as a positional system with a 0, and there were rather separate numerals for each of the tens. The actual numeral system, including positional notation and use of 0, is in principle independent of the glyphs used, and significantly younger than the Brahmi numerals. Development. The place value system is used in the Bakhshali manuscript. Although date of the composition of the manuscript is uncertain, the language used in the manuscript indicates that it could not have been composed any later than 400. The development of the positional decimal system takes its origins in Hindu mathematics during the Gupta period. Around 500, the astronomer Aryabhata uses the word Kha to mark 0 in tabular arrangements of digits. The 7th century Brahmasfuta Siddhanta contains a comparatively advanced understanding of the mathematical role of 0. The Sanskrit translation of the lost 5th century Prakrit Jaina cosmological text Lokiva Bharga may preserve an early instance of positional use of 0. These Indian developments were taken up in Islamic mathematics in the 8th century, as recorded in Al-Kifti's chronology of the scholars. The numeral system came to be known to both the Perso-Arabic mathematician Khwarizmi, who wrote a book on the calculation with Hindu numerals in about 825, and the Arab mathematician Al-Kindi, who wrote 4 volumes on the use of the Hindu numerals around 830. These earlier texts did not use the Hindu numerals. Kushar ibn Laban, who wrote Kitab fi Usul Hisab al-Hind, is one of the oldest surviving manuscripts using the Hindu numerals. These books are principally responsible for the diffusion of the Hindu system of numeration throughout the Islamic world and ultimately also to Europe. The first dated and undisputed inscription showing the use of a symbol for 0 appears on a stone inscription found at the Chaturbhuja temple at Gwalior in India, dated 876. In 10th century Islamic mathematics, the system was extended to include fractions, as recorded in a treatise by Syrian mathematician Abu al-Hasan al-Uqlidisi in 952–953. Adoption in Europe. In Christian Europe, the first mention and representation of Hindu-Arabic numerals is in the Codex Vigilanus, an illuminated compilation of various historical documents from the Visigothic period in Spain, written in the year 976 by 3 monks of the Riojan monastery of San Martin de Albelda. Between 967 and 969, Gerbert of Aurillac discovered and studied Arab science in the Catalan abbeys. Later he obtained from these places the book De Multiplication et Divisione. After becoming Pope Sylvester II in the year 999, he introduced a new model of abacus, the so-called abacus of Gerbert, by adopting tokens representing Hindu-Arab numerals from 1 to 9. Leonardo Fibonacci brought this system to Europe. His book Liber Abaci introduced Arabic numerals, the use of 0, and the decimal place system to the Latin world. The numeral system came to be called Arabic by the Europeans. It was used in European mathematics from the 12th century, and entered common use from the 15th century to replace Roman numerals. Robert of Chester translated the Latin into English. The familiar shape of the Western Arabic glyphs is now used with the Latin alphabet, the product of the late 15th to early 16th century. When they enter early typesetting, Muslim scientists used the Babylonian numeral system, and merchants used the Abjad numerals, a system similar to the Greek numeral system and the Hebrew numeral system. Similarly, Fibonacci's introduction of the system to Europe was restricted to learned circles. The credit for first establishing widespread understanding and usage of the decimal positional notation among the general population goes to Adam Ries, an author of the German Renaissance, whose 1522 Rechnung auf der Linie und Faden was targeted at the apprentices of businessmen and craftsmen. Adoption in East Asia. In China, Gautama Siddhar introduced Hindu numerals with 0 in 718, but Chinese mathematicians did not find them useful, as they had already had the decimal positional counting rods. In Chinese numerals, a circle is used to write 0 in Suzhou numerals. Many historians think it was imported from Indian numerals by Gautama Siddhar in 718, but some Chinese scholars think it was created from the Chinese text space filler. Chinese and Japanese finally adopted the Hindu-Arabic numerals in the 19th century, abandoning counting rods. Spread of the Western Arabic variant. The Western Arabic numerals as they were in common use in Europe since the Baroque period have secondarily found worldwide use together with the Latin alphabet, and even significantly beyond the contemporary spread of the Latin alphabet, intruding into the writing systems in regions where other variants of the Hindu-Arabic numerals had been in use, but also in conjunction with Chinese and Japanese writing. Bibliography. Menninger, Carl W. Number Words and Number Symbols, A Cultural History of Numbers. MIT Press. ISBN 0-262-130408. On the Genealogy of Modern Numerals by Edward Clive Bailey.